Hello again, everyone. Melth here, with more of my Baldur's Gate 3 challenge run, details of which, as usual, are in the YouTube video description. We'll be picking up a couple of the most fun and interesting items in Act 3 here, as we take a trip through the Circus. As usual, watch out for spoilers throughout this video. Well, last time we had dealt with a local gang war, looted a smuggler's cove, and also looted mind flayer parasites off that ship. Let's see what we want to acquire this time. Free cast is a pretty good feature. And yeah, Mind Blast is fairly good as a decent control effect, especially given we can do it as a bonus action. Yeah, I think I'll pick that one. We do have the Resonance Stone here, so we can make enemies become especially weak to Mind Blast when we want them to be. Though we must also watch out that we don't make ourselves vulnerable to Mind Flayers Mind Blasting us later on. Alright, I think we've cleared most of what there is to do in the Rivington area, other than the Circus, of course. So let's go take care of that. From an optimization standpoint, it would have made sense to go to the Circus earlier, but I'm trying to do at least some role-playing on this run and do things in a fairly logical in-character order. Going through Rivington and then Worms Crossing, then Worms Rock, rather than just getting all the good items then coming back. And it wouldn't make that much sense to focus on going to a Circus of all things. In fact, I really can't justify going here at all purely in character, because why would we stop and go to the Circus when we're trying to save the world? But I am, of course, doing all the quests and content that I can find and so forth. Zethano over here does some dialogue depending on who you're in a relationship with, but we wouldn't necessarily know that. And also, she's often Orin in disguise. I don't think she can be anymore for me, but I'm not even going to risk it because I absolutely, positively hate Orin's dialogue and just don't want to deal with any more of it. Over here, we can see some interesting stuff going on. We've got a Displacer Beast and a dinosaur in a cage.
Good.
And this evil Displacer Beast is looking forward to trying to maul people in the crowd.
My time comes. I will show you. All of you.
Displacer Beasts are pretty much always evil.
See? The crowd. They laugh. They shine with innocence. But it is a lie. Every one of you is vicious. Cruel. You kill my mate.
Oh no, did they kill an evil predatory monster that eats people whenever it has the chance?
Break my cage, and then you die.
Now maybe that was like the one good Displacer Beast or whatever. But he's not too sympathetic to the murderous monster. Okay, I'm not going to blow a bunch of inspiration on this unimportant thing.
The bars look sturdy.
But basically, it's going to be unleashed to attack people in the crowd. Ballista doesn't think highly of all these evil races and creatures and so forth. They will whine about their mates being killed, but they don't mind murdering other people's mates and so forth.
My stomach screams. Press your flesh through bars and add blood meat.
Haven't done this before. Hope it won't make him friendly or something like that. If so, I'll just kill him anyways if he was part of the fight. Okay, well, anyway, up there we have yet another doppelganger. Everyone and everything is a doppelganger in disguise in Act 3.
Buddy the dog is my very best friend. Do you know why?
That's apparently what a blink dog looks like now, but blink dogs are kind of the opposite of Displacer Beasts. They're, both of them have sort of a reality distorting defensive effect, and then Displacer Beasts are the evil cat ones, and blink dogs are the good canine ones.
As heroes.
Did you hear about the scarecrow who lost a fight? dear. Looks like we've got a proper comedian in our midst. Good thing, too. I'll need someone with your wits for my next trick. Now, where are you?
A bloodthirsty rush of fury engulfs you. You want to butcher the crowd, women and children alike.
But also, considering going up there because you can tell that guy's a doppelganger, but he doesn't want to risk any kind of dark herd stuff going on here. So, he's going to perhaps recommend instead that Minthara go up for that in-character reason.
Am I indeed? Perhaps I will tell my favorite joke. It is about you bleeding to death.
Oh, my heart! The enthusiasm is so much! Now, up, double sharp, or poor Buddy will think you don't like him. Right there! Oh, perfect!
It was a beautiful webbing.
So that implies that she did actually tell us that joke in character before, but... Alright. Anyway, this of course is an ambush because everything in Act 3 is a doppelganger ambush. We've done so many of them already.
Why? Why? You're special, my friend, because I have a message just for you. Praise the Absolute.
Well, Minthara failed that one pretty hard. Usually you can see them coming and be fine.
Praise the Absolute. Show?
Alright.
Command.
Well, this should not be too much difficulty. We've got Displacer Beast and Dinosaur still in the cage over there. Is Dinosaur hostile to us? Theodore, of course, is on our side. Where's the dino? Okay, so it looks like feeding it did make it non-hostile. I'll try to kill it as if it was a target too. I hadn't known that would happen, because I hadn't tried that before. But I will not let that compromise the difficulty of this little challenge run here. I can definitely shoot through the bars of that cage. I want to be efficient with my multi-target arrows here. Doppelgangers are best fought with melee, ideally, because they have a fairly high chance to... Doppelgangers give disadvantage on range attacks, so it's best to fight them with melee when possible. Or manufacture advantage with things like blinding, of course. Blinding is always very useful. I've got a lot of skeletons late in the initiative order here. I want to see if I can unlock some of them to join in. It might also make sense to see if I can get myself an entangle on the dog and the clown up there to make them easier to hit. You can't count entangle to actually entangle the people that it supposedly is threatening, unfortunately. Okay. That should be setting people up low enough that they'll be pretty easy prey for someone like Ballista. 90% are pretty good odds. I think we can do it like this. Alright, that guy needs not too many more pokes before he will definitely just die.
Blood comes easy these days.
Done.
Oh, they didn't give me my Bloodlust Elixir boost. I must have gotten the Coal of the Week killed there. That's unfortunate.
Yes.
Okay, so that doesn't give me a chance to finish that guy off with Hex Blast as I'd planned to. Okay, well, he is getting quite low on health, though. We'll just go for it like this. Imperfect though it may be. And in a shocking train of events, it's a doppelganger, same as everyone else.
This feels good.
Circus.
Okay. Can we... Yeah, there we go. We can shoot that one.
You're mine.
And we'll take out the dinosaur too, because we are pretending that it stayed hostile to us, because it usually would. There we go.
I've missed this.
Sometimes the only way out is through.
I know there are angles where we can attack this critter, but not like that apparently. You can't tell me there's no targeting through that with any of your weapons. There we go. Iron bars block psychic blasts, apparently. Should've known. People are distraught about the killer clown being dead.
While they're distracted.
Okay. That fight took longer than I expected to for a fairly easy encounter, all things considered.
I thought we were killing a real clown.
Oh, we can kill you after this if you want to star again.
No hesitation.
All the doppelgangers have terrible names, too. It's no wonder they want to take on other people's identities when their own are so stupid.
The corpse regards you lifelessly.
I killed him. Bathed in his blood.
Oh, this list is kind of important. This relates to the murder investigation quest.
Worthy of the list. Of the tribunal.
I mean, they're so proud they managed to kill some helpless clown. Really, the real clowns are the ball worshippers. And pretty much the worst quest in the game is to find Dribbles' corpse, and I'm just not doing it.
Of them all.
We can't ask intelligent questions about the tribunal and so forth.
To sow chaos.
Okay, so absolute things there.
You feel a rush of power, dark and insidious. Something prevents the corpse from answering.
Should have tried that before, Ball. Oh,
Something good here, I hope.
so the clown hammer's not a very good item.
That's curious.
The tribunal information here, I guess, is not telling us very much. What's the Saurian spot over there? I didn't see it. Dirt Mount. Okay, there's some buried treasure. There we go. This is the kobold merchant. So he killed a rat to get Dribbles' hand, basically. And we could do that as part of Dribbles' quest, but I'm just not doing it. That quest is awful. So, we're going to skip over all of that. Here is the person who runs the circus, and we'll give you a reward for that terrible quest.
Oh dear. Screaming children, an oozing corpse, and it's not even my birthday.
She's a necromancer.
Ringmaster, necromancer, bringer of the night. Oh, and wine lover extraordinaire. It's a pleasure, darling. I thought the Absolute wouldn't dare set foot in my circus. To use such a woeful Dribbles impersonator, why, it's downright rude.
Well, maybe you should have caught on to the woeful impersonation.
When you run a plane-hopping circus of ragtags and ruffians, few things...
She does have a lot of, her staff murdering people. We'll be dealing with that momentarily.
Funerals are so very expensive. I need to move the circus, but I cannot leave just yet. Not without Dribbles. He was a star. Customers of every color and creed simply adored him. I need him back, and I'll shower the person who finds him in love, adoration, and adequate compensation. What do you say?
No, shell out for true resurrection.
Oh well, at least he won't complain about extra rehearsals anymore. Find his corpse for me, will you, darling? I'll resurrect him. The show must go on after all. Perhaps I'll make some...
Yeah, I don't think she's going to resurrect. I think she's going to reanimate, and Bolus is not having any part of that. And those are okay items, actually. I think I have a decent supply of them.
Oh, then take care of your...
Alright, so we're not doing that. What we might do, though, is steal the quest reward item from her. It's an interesting one, at the very least. Not necessarily, like, a good one most of the time, but interesting. I do kind of want it. So, I think I will see what I can do about acquiring that.
My skellies will take forever to clean this. It's a mistake.
There's a friendly looking shadow. Carefully now.
There we go. DC it says is 7, but in truth it's lower than that because I've got advantage going on. I've got plus 2d4 from disguise and other perks going on too. So it's basically unfailable.
Well, that's interesting.
Circle of Death is not very good, but yeah, we'll grab it.
Notice.
And then we'll just teleport out of here and we'll come back momentarily. So these gloves are pretty interesting. It's supposed to be a little bit like Sharpshooter or Great Weapon Master, but for spellcasting. Take a penalty to accuracy, get a bonus to damage. The ratio is not anywhere near as favorable, but because there aren't that many ways to add to your spell's damage, and a lot of spells that do attack rolls give multiple attacks, like Eldritch Blast or like Scorching Ray or whatever, it does have some utility. But also, it turns out the spells that do weapon attacks, like Smite spells or Booming Blade or whatever, don't incur the penalty but do get the bonus absolutely for free. Now, I'm not using such builds on this run, so for me there would be real trade-offs, but they could still actually be worth it. If I can get my accuracy up high enough, which I can often do, that the -5 doesn't really affect me very much, then getting plus a d8 damage per Eldritch Blast Beam is pretty substantial. So I might well use those gloves sometimes. I think I'll give it a try. You can toggle them on and off anyway, and they're pretty fun to work with. Okay, back to the circus. Having found that it's full of doppelgangers and whatnot, I think Bolus would want to investigate it a little bit further, and then we'll get some powerful and interesting items. I forgot if I mentioned, I just want to say, I really enjoyed the gloves that we just got. They're a neat idea for an item. They're not necessarily that strong, other than with that one kind of exploit where they're bugged to work with Booming Blade, but they're an interesting trade-off that you can make work or make not work. Powerful on some spells and some builds not on other ones. Good design, fun stuff.
Clown man.
There are so many silly kobolds in this game.
Oh well. Want a treato?
You can buy like Dribbles' hand from him or whatever, but we're not doing that. We probably have enough of those elixirs. I guess we could get more if we wanted to. These are an interesting and fun item too. I don't have a thrower build, but if you do have one, you know, being able to force an opponent to switch with you does have utility once in a while. Sleight of hand +1 is also respectable, but we have the gloves of power to do that already, so for us I don't think we really need these. Okay, so these two are a married couple and they make a statue of you, which gives you bless every day.
My wife is heartbroken.
For me, it won't make that big a difference because, as I recollect, you can't actually get it in the final section of the game when you're going to deal with the Nether Brain. And meanwhile, on this one day, I'll be getting myself a bless for the whole party pretty much all day long from Umberly. So for this no rest run, it won't be that helpful.
Oh, my wife shall be delighted. Customs are her favorite, particularly when their facial structure is as unique as yours. Tremendous!
So, cost us 5,000, but we have, like, effectively infinite money at this point because I have hoarded so much wealth in scrolls that I've bought at, like, their proper cost. I can sell back at their proper cost because I've optimized my buying and selling quite a lot. So I'm like, carrying around $1 million gold, basically, in value at this point. I could exchange it when I need to. Alright. Over here we get to Akabi, an evil genie, who sends people off to die on another continent and be eaten by dinosaurs. We'll find that out and then deal with him appropriately. His shelf back there is full of fake treasures.
He was most irritating.
So that gets us off on a bad foot there. Fake dribbles might indeed have been a nuisance, but yeah, wanting real dribbles to be dead is not really a reasonable attitude toward a coworker.
Your miserable life more bearable. Akabi has traveled across the plains, burning and conquering all. Win the
Probably lies.
conquest. Or, if luck,
Genie are really not that special. Efreeti are the much more powerful genie-type creature in D&D usually, and they are more often the ones that grant wishes, but are usually evil. I'm not really sure what people think the jackpot is in character, because what it ends up being out of character is you just get banished to Chult to get killed by dinosaurs or whatever. You'd think that you would have something that seems appealing here as the jackpot to lure people in.
let us see if you have luck's favor.
You notice a glint in Akabi's beard. As it glows, the wheel moves away from the jackpot.
It is highly improbable you'd think that we'd be about to win the jackpot anyway, but it always works out that way.
No jackpot for you, ugly one.
He doesn't mind being called Ugly One when he's disguised as a gnome. Gnomes are weird and hideous creatures.
You would accuse me, Akabi, destroyer of plains, of cheating. I am, however, feeling gracious, so I will forget this and allow you to spin again. Or I can turn you into something fun.
A few of the joke items you get from are worth something, but you get them at random, and I wouldn't really want to go through the random process of that. You can either steal the ring from him, or you get certain classes dialogue options that let you go ahead and turn things in your favor this way. We're not even, like, really cheating here. He's just being an idiot, and he'll still get mad at it, try to kill us over that.
Akabi is more than a genie. He is the most magnificent and wondrous being in the realms. In fact,
What are the odds that we would once again be winning the jackpot here?
possible. You sneak! You cheated! There!
So, notably, he will banish just the main character, or whoever that is who was dealing with him, rather than the rest of the party off to Chult. So if you have a party where one member is weak, make sure it's not just them being sent. Chult is sort of the generic jungly continent part of the Forgotten Realms. As I mentioned before, like there are a lot of Forgotten Realms sort of counterpart cultures and countries and things like that correspond to one real region of the world in a fairly lazy way, to be honest. This is one of those. Alright. A few dinosaurs, not much of a threat to us.
That's true.
I think there'll be a trio of them over here that we'll want to watch for. That's enough guys that with just one party member who is much lower power than he will be later on. It could be a minor threat, I guess. As a reminder, I've re-specced, so I don't actually have 2 levels of Warlock, though that will be my final build to have 2 levels of Warlock. So I currently don't do great damage with my Eldritch Blasts, but I will eventually. Alright, let's deal with the big one, I think. If we get a kill on it, we can activate Bloodless Elixir, that is if Bloodless gets the kill, and that would be a big help. Alright, so if I was to attack, I do more damage than that, because I do have the Potent Robe equipped, so I'm actually doing, plus 6 damage per beam. And I've got, Lightning Blast coming in too. I think if I go ahead and apply Hex to the guy and turn off Cold Weak, I will almost certainly secure the kill that way. There we go. The game seems to have gotten very buggy and laggy with how it displays damage and accuracy numbers after patch 8 for whatever reason. Alright, this will probably kill. I should turn on Cold Weak, but it knocks the guy prone and that will get the job done for our purpose. Okay, so we back up. We activate Cold Weak. And you fly or teleport on back. And everyone end their turns. Alright, so you're prone, you've lost your movement speed. Dash. Can it jump on us? It might be able to jump. Okay, did 3 damage to one person. That's not too bad. I could have taken that with Cold Weak. I need to remember to turn that back on at the right times. Okay.
Everything is.
A couple more of these Alio-Rami around here. And also an important, valuable hidden item. There's one.
Come on. Can't stay idle.
Maybe I'll fly over here. Probably can get him from that side. Path's interrupted. No, it's not. It's very clearly not.
Done.
There we go. Okay, so there is a pretty good and fairly well hidden item up there. Let us go up and snag it. I'd say it's a very powerful item, but nonetheless an overrated item, because people talk about it like it's one of the best things in the whole game, and it's not at that level. It is good, it's very good for certain builds, but it's not like a huge game changer for me, certainly. So what it lets you do is, after you use usually your main action to attack, you can then use your bonus action to cast certain spells. And a lot of the game's best, control spells are either under enchantment or illusion. Not all of them, but a lot of them. So you can often set yourselves up with something like a many-target arrow while wearing the hat that gives you Arcane Acuity for every shot that you do, thereby making your save DC really, really high, and then bonus action control an enemy and they'll almost certainly fail their saving throw. And yeah, that's pretty darn good. Sure, yeah. But, as I've talked about and shown many times before in this game, it's really, really easy in this game to get a ton of actions on any character, basically, with things like Bloodlust or Haste. And so that makes casting as a bonus action not really that special, because you've got 3 actions to do what you please with anyway. So it doesn't make a big, big difference if you attack with the bonus action and then attack with 2 main actions and then cast a spell with your 3rd main action versus, attacking with 3 main actions and then cast a spell with your bonus action. It's maybe slightly advantageous, but not necessarily enough to always be worth your ring slot. For me, it's really not going to be good for this party. But, for some builds, yes, it's definitely very good. It does have some uses. It's just People talk about it as if it's the best thing in the game, and it's not at that level. It's just a good item. And a fun and interesting item. I definitely enjoy the design of it, once again. Okay, getting some much needed XP. I'm not used anymore to not being like level 12 at this point, because I've done all the XP optimization guides and things like that, so nowadays if I was starting off a run and doing a lot of the tricks that I've learned along the way, I'd be level 12 like before exiting Act 2. But right now, I am not at that level. Now, our portal out is over there, but... Oh, there's an Aleoramus. Let's take that thing out. And I seem to recall that the pathing is just god-awful around here, and for some reason, if you tell your characters to like walk down there, they'll decide to run off a cliff on the way half the time and take damage for no reason, even though there is a safe path down. So we're not going to be doing that. We're going to manually walk the slow way down. It will be nice to get the extra +6 damage per beam back.
How many die today?
Okay, so we're going to walk over here, we'll find the path down on the shallow slope ground, and then we'll walk around.
Moving ahead.
One or two quirks I want to point out. So, if you happen to leave nether stones in Chult, I think you can't get back here and you can soft lock your game, at least you could in certain patches. Not sure if that's still true. Also, if you have Gale here with his Netherese Heart Blast, and the rest of your party is back on the main continent, inexplicably, if he blows up, you still just lose, which is very silly. I do wish they had put a little bit of effort into having it be that you only lose if Gale blows up when your party's in like the same continent or the same plane of reality or things like that, but they didn't, so oh well. Okay. That jump will hurt people, I think, so we probably better cast Featherfall here. Normally I have a dedicated party member that can cast that, but we have scrolls for this reason, so we'll go ahead and do that, and then fly/jump everyone over there to grab another good and interesting item.
Wonder what's past this.
Nyrulna is an item that I like quite a lot. A lot of the legendary items in this game are just really pretty bad because all they have is like a +3 bonus to hit and then some trash abilities. Nyrulna has some genuinely good abilities for certain builds, and it's interesting and fun too. It gives you a passive speed bonus for just carrying it, which I enjoy. I think speed is very, very valuable, so as a stat stick, that alone is okay. Not great at this point, but okay. And then of course, it's interesting also for throw builds because unlike most weapons in this game, when you throw it, its abilities actually apply and do their effect. So that's pretty interesting too.
I'll give it a shot.
Alright, back we go. We've learned that Akabi has slaughtered many people who came here and called out his cheating, so we're going to kill him. I'm going to try to avoid collateral damage by having people crowd in here so they don't pull in like every random circus goer into this fight. Wouldn't want to kill all the civilians here. He's going after this one target who totally deserves it. I guess with that kind of accuracy we should probably turn off Spell Might. He does have pretty good armor class. We'll see if we can blind him for the rest of this.
Violence hasn't gone unnoticed. It's about to be returned in kind.
Okay. So we'll see who gets pulled in exactly. He took only mild damage there, but we can work with this. So, let us go for the blind. Nope. Let's go for the blind. Try 2. You are at the destination. Don't tell me that you can't reach it. You're right next to him. Okay. Silly bird. There we go. Okay, now my hit chance should be solid enough that I could probably... Yeah, that's what we needed. So we're going to go ahead and curse your strength. And then who else is in this fight? Paramidius, and then can I scroll this bar? I bet she's probably hostile. Yeah, she's a red unit. Those guys are hostile. Okay.
Where do I go from here?
So, what I want to do basically is just get a lot of shots on him, and so for that I want to use like one blast to finish off someone else, get my bloodlust active, and then I can blast him with like 5 beams out of 6. That's the goal. If I finish off Calliope over there, who's named for one of the muses. Which one is Calliope? I think she might have been the epic poetry muse. And I think Calliope is a bard, so that's kind of appropriate. Though there was a separate, I think, muse for different kinds of poems that were non-epics. I forget which one that was. Let's see, it was like Terpsichore Dance? I don't know all the muses. Okay, so we're doing some pretty heavy damage to the guy there. Imagine if I actually had my +6 additional damage per beam going on here, too.
I'm ready.
So, we will get our ranged sneak attacks in. Pretty good. We also want to get Bloodlust on Astarion. There we go. Then we'll finish off this mummy if we can. She sells face paint, so you can dress up as a clown or whatever, but I don't have any desire to do that.
Smell blood.
I guess I could have done a firebolt on her. As a mummy, she's probably weak to fire. Yeah, should have done that. Doesn't make a big difference, but this should get the finisher easily enough. Okay, so who's left? Because it won't let me actually scroll the combat bar. We've got Paramidius. Oh, I hope Boney's not hostile. And we've got Viola Silvertongue over there. Okay. Do we have... Is Zethino hostile? Seemingly not. Let's keep it that way. He doesn't want to kill everyone at the circus, just the people that are fighting back as we deal with the mass murderer Akabi. Are both redcaps hostile?
Get your shinies and treat.
Try and entangle.
Time to push my luck again.
Your command.
We could probably frost you.
Iblis.
Ah, that made Stony hostile.
A bold maneuver.
Well, I think I'm going to try to avoid killing those two. They definitely don't deserve it. So we'll just retreat away from them. They would just die in one round if we did go for them, but we won't. We were told that the red caps had attacked children and whatnot, so he's happy to dispose of those. Okay, Mud Breath was a mild nuisance back in Act 1. It's certainly not a threat now. Okay, now we just need to get out of here without hurting these people unnecessarily.
Moment.
I forget if this works on elementals. If so, it'd be a pretty good way to incapacitate that one.
Hardly worth my time.
Alright, highly inefficient due to some misclicks there. But that's that one dealt with. Then we should be able to run away while they are just stuck laughing.
They're dying for me.
And if we get everyone out, that will end the fight. We might pick up a couple of more circus people fighting us along the way. Hopefully not. Yeah. That guy was working with a ghoul and was willing to allow murderers in. Yeah, I don't like how this is happening anymore in character. It makes no sense to me. But we don't have a way to end the fight. Normally it doesn't expand the way it has here. But that's honor mode 4, sometimes weird things happen, and I'm going to do something here that I have trouble justifying in character anymore. Because we can't just talk our way out of this. Can I entangle you without harm? Can we do that?
Put him up.
Slaughter. With finesse.
Okay, that's the two of them dealt with. And if we get enough distance, that will just end things. So that's what we're going to go for. Okay, well they're still prone with laughter, so that gives us more time to get away from them.
I'm heating up.
Shall we dance?
If I was just willing to shoot down Medrash and just get out of here that way, I would be long out of the fight due to distance, but I don't want to kill these civilians. I didn't want to do this fight this way anyway. I have not had it expand in this manner before, but that, as I said, is just how things go on honor difficulty sometimes. So I'm trying to preserve some semblance of roleplay here by not just killing the civilians. No, don't come this way. No, don't dash this way especially. Ah.
Fresh orders? Yes.
Okay, well, that took me like 20 minutes to get everyone out of that super long, absurd fight, but we did it. We completed our circus adventure, or misadventure as it turned out to be.
Dream in red.
I think we've done everything there is to do in Rivington. Let me know if I'm forgetting something. Let's move on, clear out the gate guards, and move on to Worm's Crossing, with a fun battle with the Steel Watchers coming up next time, I think. Thank you for watching, everyone. And a special thank you to my Patreon supporters. The Irreverent Reverend, Master Knight DH, Jackie, and Lino, Travis, Andrew Curzon, Trubsy, Oliver, Cronish, Jago, DK in DK, Gregory, Broken Box, Jenna M, Just Becca, Jack, Marcus the Carcass, Nubiana, Discord Colossus, Nicholas Schmuck, Kostya Nesterovich, Frederick Brune, Robin, Stefan Van Zyl, Eddie, Mina, Ali Kasamoglu, Skylar Sauce, Nick Myers, Emp Ninjas, Preben A, Chupatan, Diabetic Cat, Marvin Fay, Max, Afro Zamurai, Step Back Too Deadly, Lodestone, Bic Mars, Brad, IJ23, Rodrigo Lopez Dato, Kevin Ditchide, Silent, Eldritch, Jake Watson, and a name that starts with sword emojis. Have a great day, everyone.